everybody, and welcome to Newsworthy. I'm Jeff Grundy.
And I'm Hannah Flahan. We have a host of interesting, completely true stories for you tonight, so stay tuned. First, we'll chat about Disney's new acquisition. Get excited, comic book geeks. Off the heels of the company's acquisition of the 20th Century Fox, the entertainment conglomerate has now finalized a deal to finally purchase all the water in the world. So what does this mean for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? We know that Phase 4 of the MCU has been off to an explosive start, with stakes becoming multiversal now that Kang the Conqueror has been set up as the new major antagonist of the franchise. So how will Disney's new giant acquisition shake things up in the Marvel Universe? Well, to start, in every store near you, all brands of water will now feature the Mickey Mouse logo on the wrapper, a pretty dope real-life Easter egg. Even cooler than that, Disney Plus subscribers have special access to bottled water too, which contains 50% less microplastics than regular water. It's never been a better time to be Disney fans. And for you DC heads, it looks like Marvel's rival cinematic franchise is canceling Aquaman 2 out of fear of a copyright strike by Disney. Also, no movie not made by Disney will ever feature water again. Excellent.
It's official. After a messy trial, the Republican and Democratic parties have filed for divorce. After a rally cry was tweeted out by Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Democrats and Republicans finally admitted that it was neither of their faults and blamed their parents. The blue and red states were quick to pick who would be their guardian, but the custody battle rages on for the swing states. Meanwhile, the judge ruled that since U.S. territories like Guam and Puerto Rico are still too baby to have states' rights, that they should be put under joint custody, only being allowed to see the Democrats on weekends.
Hot guy Pedro Pascal has found a new way to appeal to fans. No, he's not here, he's online. Pascal and his team has now successfully launched a new app called A Pinch of Pascal. The app comes with several amazing features for the purpose of bringing together fans from Twitter, TikTok, and more. Thirst trap options will be available for the growing editors, as well as OnlyFans options for more mature audiences. The app will also allow for fans to be in close contact with Pascal, so you can send all those creepy little messages you put in the comments of videos. The app will also come with a fully functional AI voice function called Deepfake Therapy with Pedro. So all of you with daddy issues, you finally have someone to talk to about all of it. Extra time on your video calls can be brought with Pedro Pay if you feel your time with Pedro isn't long enough. All proceeds from the app will be donated to the Connor Project.
A tweet from Vice President Kamala Harris posted last week stated that she believed Representative George Santos is a compulsive liar. Thanks, Kamala. What a unique viewpoint on a breaking story. But really, you'll be shocked to hear some of the things that he said. In 2021, Santos had lied about his mother dying in the South Tower office during the attacks on 9/11. Records show that she had never worked there. Santos had also lied about how his grandmother had survived the Holocaust. This didn't happen. He also lied about being Jewish. He's not. At all. Santos has also shut down allegations which claimed that he had competed as a drag queen in Rio de Janeiro in 2005. After a friend had shown the picture of the representative dressed for a drag show, Santos shot back by saying, "Sue me for having a life." Most absurd of all, he claimed to have starred in hit Disney shows Hannah Montana and The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on deck. Okay, wow. Really? Honestly, these aren't really that bad. I was kind of expecting it to be a lot worse.
A decades-long mystery has been solved with the discovery of previously missing aviator Amelia Earhart. Earhart disappeared in 1937, and her whereabouts have been unknown until now. Earhart was discovered by a group of Hawaiian fishermen. Unfortunately, Earhart was found in a very dead condition. When asked for comment, Earhart's estate responded in an official statement. Well, she's been gone since the 30s, and she was already 42, so I don't know what you guys were expecting.
A group of conspiracy theorists on TikTok have discovered what they believe to be alarming evidence connecting the film Bohemian Rhapsody to the real-life rock band Queen. TikToker @BillyJoelIsStillAlive made the first of a series of posts last week, stating that, quote,
"Guys, I was watching the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, and like deadass, it's eerily similar to this real band Queen. The lead even looks like Queen's lead singer and has the same name. #question everything."
The conspiracy has caught on, with TikToks questioning the film raking up millions of likes. Does Hollywood know something that we don't? Probably not. Or is this just a coincidence? We may never know.
What goes up must come down. A floating object shot down by the U.S. on February 4th, first believed to be a Chinese surveillance balloon, has been revealed by the Pentagon to be a house attached to balloons. The house belonged to a retired geriatric called Fredrickson, who was found dead among the wreckage. An 8-year-old wilderness explorer named Russell was another casualty. President Biden addressed the news during a press conference earlier this week.
We are deeply saddened by the loss of both Carl and Russell. They lived full and fruitful lives that were tragically cut short by our military. Our condolences go out to both families, even though Carl has none.
Carl and Russell's loss was felt around the world, prompting a statement from prominent filmmaker Pete Docter, the director of Up.
When we first started making the documentary that became the film Up, we were touched by Carl and Russell's kindness. We hope that their kindness continues to touch others wherever they are now.
A memorial service will be held later this month for Carl, Russell, and their dog, Doug.
A recent surplus of milk in the greater Boston area has resulted in the return of thousands of missing fathers. The families of the afflicted are shocked and unsure on how to respond to this return. Mother Beatrice Wells commented on her experience.
I asked to go get some more milk like 10 years ago.
Her husband Jeffrey Wells described what it felt like to experience the call home.
So I knew I was going to see my other girlfriend, but then this calm came over me and this flash of white, and now I'm here.
Doctors are still running tests on these new patients to determine what occurred. Updates will be forthcoming.
Breaking news. It has just been reported that it is Joe Biden's fault for causing a new milk flood throughout Boston. This is the first time Boston has seen a mass flood since the Great Molasses Flood of 1919. For his Got Milk campaign, Biden has decided to visit the historic Hood Milk Bottle of Boston. While giving a speech which highlighted his excessive and strange obsession with ice cream, the president had opened the door to the milk bottle. We believe he didn't know there was actual milk in the bottle. We also believe that this is because no one had ever opened it, so no one knew. Secret Service members were able to swim in and grab the president just in time, but a few pigeons were lost. Rest in peace, little guys.
The last time the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum had been robbed was in 1990. We're shocked but not surprised to say that that's happened again. We recall the last heist was at a time when 13 works of art, some of them the most valuable in the world, were stolen from the museum with the crime still unsolved and no arrests made. Last night the museum was struck again. However, this time instead of stolen paintings, suspects have stolen priceless frames. Paintings of Degas and Rembrandt were found haphazardly lying on the floor, all with missing frames. Stay tuned for updates. I'm sure BPD are going to get them this time. Seriously, guys, this is getting embarrassing.
Big news for all you sports fans out there. Tom Brady has just rescinded his retirement announcement for the second year in a row. Instead, he's opting to follow in the footsteps of every middle-aged white man after a rough divorce and losing custody of his kids. That's right, Tom Brady will be moving to Las Vegas to play for the Raiders. There, he'll gamble both his legacy and his neurological health for a team that went 6-11 this past season. We'd project the team to perform just as bad, if not worse, next year, but if anyone can bounce back from a midlife crisis, it's Tom. Go Pats!
Boston has decided to remove every crosswalk from the streets of the city. Pedestrians now may cross whenever and wherever they want, with no regard for their own safety. A representative from Mayor Wu's office spoke to reporters on the matter.
Nobody uses the crosswalks anyways, so what do we need to keep repainting them for? Next step on the list is school zones.
To avoid an increase in accidents, drivers are being encouraged to drive as fast as they possibly can, so they have less time to hit pedestrians. Conversely, pedestrians are encouraged to yell, "Hey, I'm walking here," to warn drivers that they are in fact walking there.
The Boston accent, an iconic New England staple and the first language of the Wahlberg clan, has been labeled endangered by dialecticians. The Boston accent has enjoyed a long and storied history in this city. Many historians believe it originated post-revolution, when Bostonians remained so anti-English they gave up on using the English language altogether. But as Boston has grown and changed, the once widespread accent has now been pushed to the far corners of Southie, Essex, and Methuen. Luckily, the Endangered Language Project has been well underway, ensuring the accent's survival, with such steps as Duolingo for Bostonians and free speech therapy from Bill Burr. A large donation to this project came from the government of New Jersey. This anonymous, definitely not mob-affiliated New Jersey resident had this to say.
If they don't have the world's ugliest accent, we're next on the chopping block. Can't afford to be mocked any harder.
We wish best of luck to the Boston accent. We at NewsWorthy just want to say, stay f***ing strong, you goddamn freeloader!
It's a sad day for feline fanatics in Massachusetts, as Governor Maura Healey recently announced that all cats will be banned from the state beginning on March 10th. Governor Healey stated that we're a family here at Mass, and this family has no place for those things. Residents are asked to submit their cats via USPS mail by 11:59 p.m. on March 9th. Governor Healey stated, punch air holes in the box. Or don't. I don't give a f*** if those bastards live or die. The state will not pay for postage, and all cats will be exiled to Martha's Vineyard. Visitation is strictly banned. I love cats. Don't you just love cats?
I absolutely f***ing do not.
Damn.
When we get back, we'll let you know about the secret darkness lurking in the corners of Emerson's Greek life. Stay with us.
Have you ever wondered what those mysterious Emerson students are doing during rush week that they won't tell you about? Well, an insider scoop from investigative journalist J.L. Beto has news for you. Emerson frats have been working together to further the straight agenda and establish its roots in the Emerson community. Meetings have been reportedly encouraging students to chug beers, use Axe body spray, and only wear minimal effort clothing. Ouch. Emerson College has made no effort to further pursue this issue, saying frats around the country do things that are like 10 times worse. Stay safe out there, Emerson.
Emerson officials announced this week that they're doing a complete overhaul of the Oasis dining hall station. What once was a sanctuary for students with dietary restrictions will now become a sanctuary for students who want to be fucking rad. That's right, starting after spring break, the Oasis station will be filled with new, delicious, official Emerson vape cartridges. These new Emerson flavors will include iced Walker watermelon, Lightwell lemon, and crippling student debt, to name a few. An Emerson College representative, Edwina Mercer, spoke on the new changes.
We really believe that this is a change that students can get behind. I mean, what do Emerson students love more than lung cancer and a bad relationship with food?
This new initiative was met with unanimous support from the student body.
Denizens of Emerson's 172 Tremont Street have issued a cease and desist order to the amateur picklers of the common kitchens. That's right, the latest craze for budding dorm kitchen chefs is pickling, and the results are putting the stink in distinctive. Oof. On Friday, the overwhelming odor of vinegar caused clubs and group projects to evacuate the building. There are gallons of pickled vegetables floating around in what is widely regarded as the most accessible and well-stocked kitchen at Emerson College. And they're not stopping at cucumbers. Frenzied students are bathing everything from beets to blueberries in brine. To figure out more about this trend, we have our correspondent Lucy Latour interviewing author and pro-pickler Dr. Gherkin to have a chat. Lucy?
Thanks, Jeff. Dr. Gherkin, it's good to see you here. Why don't you introduce yourself for the folks at home?
It's good to be here. Hi, everybody. My name is Giardiniera Gherkin. You probably know me as the owner of Jerkin Gherkin's Picklery and the author of Pickle Your Fancy, an erotic thriller detailing the long, simmering love affair between a sensual pickle factory heiress and a lowly pickle maker with sad eyes and a devastating backstory.
Now, Doctor, should we be concerned about this latest fermentation frenzy?
As long as students are following my patented proper pickling procedures, it shouldn't be a problem. Homemade pickles can actually be a healthier alternative to store-bought ones.
Oh, how so?
Mainly because some store-bought pickles rely on artificial preservatives and colors to produce that pickly taste and texture. So why not make your own pickles? What else are you going to do while you're waiting for my next book, Pickle Me Pink? The heiress and the pickle maker are finally going to...
Now back to you at the desk.
Emerson has made plans to replace the Norman Lear statue in the 2B Alley with a statue of Golden Globe-winning Emerson alumni Jennifer Coolidge. The change was inspired by comments from Emerson students about the statue asking, "Who's this old white bitch?" and "What even is network television?" In an Emerson-wide presidential communications email, Emerson President Jay Bernhardt said, "Anyone could have created some of the most successful and iconic sitcoms of the 1970s, but only Jennifer Coolidge could have played Tanya from The White Lotus." Comment on the destruction of his statue, the 100-year-old but somehow still alive Norman Lear responded in an official press release. "I can't hear you over the sound of my syndication checks rolling in."
Emerson has hired world-renowned detective Benoit Blanc to figure out who vandalized the Little building last semester. Since Emerson could not figure out who the cowardly idiots were, they decided to make every freshman pay for the repairs to the Little building. Students were obviously up in arms after learning this, especially since collective punishment is outlawed under the Geneva Conventions, right? In order to avoid committing a war crime, Emerson has chosen to let a professional get to the bottom of this serious problem. Unfortunately, all Emerson students must now pay Detective Blanc's incredibly high fee.
Jeff, it's been a treat working with you.
Thank you so much. I quit. Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Jeff Grundy.
And I'm Hannah Flahan. Remember, any story can be news, but not every story can be newsworthy.